to Bear Lifestyle, the podcast where we talk about taboo topics to make them normal and acceptable. I'm your host, Simona Spark, and I'm so happy that you are here. We are about to get naked by stripping away insecurities, judgments, and all kinds of limitations to reveal the essence of who we really are. Bear, bold, authentic, radical, express. Let's go. Welcome back to Bear Lifestyle. Let's start with celebrations. Celebrating myself and celebrating you and celebrating everyone who listens and watches this episode. Cheers, cheers with lotus flower tea. I hope you could see and read what's on this cup. It says, let that shit go. Let that shit go. Let that shit go. I know. I'm personally used to be often annoyed by people that will just tell me, oh, just let go of it. Like, how the hell do we let go of? How do we let go of the pain that a breakup causes us? How do we let go of trauma and suffering and realizations of when and how things happen that brought us here, right? It's a very complex topic, so I'll do my best here to go through different layers of the process the way that I see it, and I could only hope that this resonates with you, or at least take some pieces that speak to you, and the ones that don't, just leave them here and don't worry about them, right? That being said, please join the conversation by asking your question, by leaving your comments, right? So how do we let go? When in this journey of healing, the first thing that happens is our awareness, realizing that, hey, this doesn't work anymore, or I'm noticing a pattern, I keep ending up in the same situation, the same circumstance over and over again, right? What's up? So we start the process of healing, and whatever your process of healing is, it might be just journeying, it might be talking with a trustful friend, you might hire a coach, or you might hire a therapist. Somewhere in this journey, we got to discover the root of the problem. The root of the problem. When we have this like aha moment, right? Like, oh, that's what this pattern was born. It's a belief that most likely is created in our childhood by things that our parents teach us, or just by the stories that we create in our mind, by witnessing how our parents, family, people around us do life. So we get to that moment and we have this realization. Now we understand what everything started. And then you will hear your therapist or your coach or your friend saying, okay, it's time to let that go, because we can't change the past. Move on with your life. It's not that easy, right? Well, of course, there is the whole process of healing that we need to do to clean it up. And if you need any support with that in any area of your life, please open the show notes and look for the free sessions. Every now and then I have few free spots where we could just jump on a call and have a full-on coaching session, and I'll be honored to hold that space for you and to help you move forward with whatever the issue might be. So we get to the point where we say, let it go. Before we even get to letting it go step, if we are to make steps in here, we need to understand there are two different circumstances. You are in a good space in your life, so then you will hear people telling you, be grateful. Whatever shit happened, it's supposed to happen for you, because that led you where you are today, and today you are in this great space, so you get to be grateful for, right? That one seems to be easy, or easier, but it's still like the process of letting go is not that easy, because there is where it gets to be overlooked. Things are good, things are peachy, and it's like, yeah, a lot of shit happened in my childhood. I have terrible parents, whatever, terrible husband, marriages, just name it. But you know what? It's all good because I'm good now. Just because we said it, that doesn't mean that we let it go of. So I need you to pay attention to this. We actually need to go there with the right support, with the right facilitator in a safe space, to not only understand at cerebral level what happened, but actually to get into our body and clean up the feelings, the emotions around it. Okay, so that's the situation in which you are in a good place, right? So now, when you are not in a good place and you have that aha moment of what is the root of all the patterns or messed ups of traumas or pains that got you here, is when it's the hardest to hear somebody just let go of it. Because what do we do there? We have a lot of regret and we have a lot of blame. We are, and I say we because I've been doing that, and maybe I still do every now and then, is like we are stepping into this victimhood of, now I know why I'm in this dire situation, because once upon a time my dad told me, my mom says, my ex-husband did, right? Do you see the energy of that? It's blaming on others or even circumstances, a situation from the past for where I am today. So it's really hard to let go of, right? Borderline impossible. Now, it's not to say that those events did not contribute. It did. Everything contribute. Everything that ever happened to us, for us, contribute to where we are today. The hardest part, though, is to be grateful for all of them, good and bad. Like, we have to be grateful for them, good and bad. We have to go back in and clean up all the energy around it, all the emotions and the feelings, regardless if the events were good or bad. And then we get to be here, to be fully, deeply, genuinely grateful for where we are, for what we have, for who we are. To recognize that regardless if the events were good or bad, it shaped us into the person who we are today. And after we clean all the emotions and all the energy, like literally doing the deep inner healing, then and only then we could get to the step of letting go. How do we let it go? Getting back to the initial questions, this is how we let it go. It's a whole process, and it's going to take as long as it's going to take. And keep in mind that everybody's moving on their own pace, on their own speed. I don't want to hear anybody that's giving you the 3 magic steps or how to do this in 30 days or how to get there in 7 days. I don't believe in any of those. You take your time, your pace, your speed for this process. So this is how you let it go. So now, how do you know that you let go of something? Is when that thing no longer triggers you. When that thing no longer triggers you. Until you have any kind of type of response, reaction to whatever happened in the past, that's an evidence that you did not let go of that thing yet. I say yet because you still get to do it. There is no due date. So if you want to take anything from this conversation today, take this. Nobody on the entire planet could tell you the how and the when. This is up to you, and your time and your whatever steps are just yours. Nobody else is. And here's the good news though. You don't have to do it alone. In fact, I will highly, highly, highly recommend don't do it alone. Hire support. Get a coach. Get a therapist. Get both. There are two different types of work here. And yes, you have to do all the work, but it's easier to do it with the right facilitator into a safe space. Because we do need that person, all of us. I don't care where we are on our journey of healing, on our journey of evolution. We all need a person, a specialist, a facilitator that get to guide us, that get to flash a light on the hidden tiny corners of the parts of ourselves or our life or our past trauma, pain and such, where we don't want to look. We need that person. We need that person to say, hey, look over there. You are hiding in that spot. And we all do. And I will tell you this, as much as of inner work we are doing, as sophisticated we are becoming into hiding behind the parts that we don't want to face. So this is the main reason why I truly believe in coaching. Because a good coach won't hold my hand to say, oh, you're right. A good coach will say, there's nothing wrong with you, and there is more to explore, there is deeper to go, and there is possible you are hiding. So it's my job to flash a light on those spots, to ask the uncomfortable questions that your best friend or your husband or your wife or your mother won't. It's my job as a coach to ask the uncomfortable questions so you could go deeper into hidden spots inside of you to access those answers. They're there. They're there. They're waiting for you to reveal them, to uncover them. So I know most of my clients will say, you know, you're not cute. I don't like you while in a session. But, you know, they're all coming back a day later, a week later, after they're coming out of what I'm calling coaching hangover. They're coming out of it, and then they are thankful and grateful for the uncomfortable questions in the sessions, because those questions are just opening the doors that haven't been opened before, and they are helping us to, as I say, go deep into the roots of the problem, and now we could start the healing process. So this is what I have for today. Tuning in from this beautiful, gorgeous weather here in Texas. There is a train passing by, so we'll see how that is captured on the audio. But hey, this is a bear lifestyle. This is where you got me today. A lot has happened with this move, not only being in a different state, but also being in a different state of mind and a different personal energy. So we are moving into a new space and into a new energy with our bear lifestyle conversations starting next week. So come back here, same time, same place. Until then, I wish you an amazing day, a fabulous week, and go ahead and have a bear experience. And let that shit go. And this is where we landed. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And if you enjoyed the show, make sure you leave me a review to let me know. For more bear experiences, please go to simonaspark.com/bear and follow us on Instagram at Simona Spark World. I can't wait to have you back. Until then, be bear, bold, authentic, radical, expressed. See you next time.